Welcome back to Bolivia's Amazon Basin. And for those of you just joining us, allow us to bring you up to speed. We entered Bolivia on a 30-day visa, explored a few ghost towns and ransacked cemeteries before hitting Uyuni and its world-famous salt flats. After that, we got lost. Chad broke his foot, and we fled to the north, intending to ride to La Paz. But for reasons that remain unclear, we veered east into the Amazon Basin, within a stone's throw of the Brazilian border. Touring, of all things, a series of 300-year-old Jesuit missions, where we promptly got rained upon, and ended up in the middle of a military parade, before ending up here, in San Ignacio de Velasco, our third mission on the tour, which just so happened to be closed for renovations. But the workers were more than happy to let us in to have a poke around. This mission is the only mission on the circuit that did not make the cut as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, due to the fact that it is a reconstruction after the original mission was destroyed by fire in 1808. And despite the fact that San Ignacio's mission lacks the patina of the original structures, the new chapel is faithful to the original design and craftsmanship, making it well worth the stop. And this, Highway 10, also just so happened to be one of only 2 highways between Bolivia and Brazil. The other being Highway 4, at the bottom of the mission circuit, both of which serve as a corridor for commerce with Santa Cruz de la Sierra. But Highway 17, spanning the 200 kilometers between our current location and San José de Chiquitos, is a relative no man's land, as we would soon discover. But ignorance being bliss, we took our sweet time getting sorted for the day, going about the business of buying gas, before setting off for our measly 200-kilometer day, whereupon we promptly got lost, simply trying to get out of town. As we'd come to expect in Bolivia, the highway was nowhere near the bright blue line that appeared on our phone.
Are all the roads out of town mud? I don't understand.
And a series of unmarked detours only added to the confusion. But the eventual conga line of traffic and a couple helpful locals finally confirmed we were on the right track.
Javier,
Yeah.
30.
30? Okay, gracias.
And that track just so happened to be a muddy mess. It appears as if our measly 200-kilometer day is going to be a long one.
Oh,
And after what had been a slow, wet start, we finally arrived in San Miguel, the home of the fourth mission on our tour, a mere 40 kilometers down the road. The only mission on the circuit we were unable to access.
anybody home?
So, you'll have to settle for a few exterior shots Chad took, while I attended to more pressing matters. Namely, trying to get a SIM card and a few gigs of data, in an effort to navigate the maze of detours that was Highway 17. A task that would end up involving half of the village. But after a bit of help from the locals, we were back in the mud, on our way to San Rafael. Just 40 kilometers worth of detours and highway construction away. The mission of San Rafael de Velasco, originally built in 1695, was relocated and rebuilt numerous times before landing here in 1750, making it, theoretically speaking, the second oldest mission on the circuit, And despite the fact that both the mission and the town appeared to be closed for the day, the side entrance was thankfully unlocked.
The hell? Damn it.
Allowing us to indulge in a self-guided tour.
All right, should we go?
And afterward, I set off on a tour of my own. Not even halfway into our short 200-kilometer day, I was starving and on the hunt for sustenance. But San Rafael had none to offer.
Okay, gracias.
So after a fruitless search, we loaded back up and began an hours-long trek across the muddy expanse known as Highway 17 towards San José de Chiquitos, quickly burning what was left of the daylight. Breaking, once again, that cardinal rule of two-wheeled overlanding. Never ride at night. Having barely survived the ride, no thanks to our stock headlight, we proceeded directly to the final mission on our tour, if for no other reason than just to get it over with. The mission of San José de Chiquitos is the only Jesuit mission in the region constructed of stone. Despite this, the interior woodwork and plaster finishes are nearly identical to those constructed of adobe and wood. But its exterior, castle-like facade, whether lit up at night or towering over the city's plaza in the light of day, is what sets it apart from the other missions on the circuit. Which officially concludes our tour of Bolivia's Jesuit missions of Chiquitos. There was just one problem. In our never-ending state of distraction, we wound up here, in the middle of Bolivia's Amazon basin, when we were supposed to be here, in La Paz. And not only had we managed to burn through the majority of our 30-day tourist visa, but the region was in the grips of a deadly flood. Chad had lost a shoe.
Those are his church visiting shoes.
So if anyone happens to be in Bolivia, in the Amazon, and sees a shoe that looks like this, size 11, please send it to me. I'm down to one shoe.
Okay, well, technically, that's more than one problem. It's really a series of problems that are the direct result of our poor decision making. But that's beside the point. We were, for the time being, stuck in San Jose. The military had been mobilized, and the highway closed until the rains relented and the floodwaters receded, which is one potential hazard of traveling in the Amazon. There's typically only one road, and once it's closed, you are not going anywhere. So your best bet in a situation like this is to hunker down and go shoe shopping.
Let's see.
Rockin' the chipmunks.
You still have the tag on?
Hell yeah.
And Chad's $10 foam-soled Chinese dad sneakers were more than just stylish. Their sponge-like absorbency was enough to soak up the floodwaters and get us back on the highway. Back to Santa Cruz, Cochabamba, and eventually La Paz. But no sooner had we hit the open highway, celebrating having survived the mud and floodwaters of the Bolivian Amazon, than Chad pulled over to investigate an odd sound coming from the rear of the bike. And it was here, halfway between nowhere and nothing, where we discovered that we had lost more than just a shoe.
That's not good. I think I lost a wheel bearing. Damn. Yowzers.